hang on to your seat, baby, because this one's a screamer. Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
What's going on, Entertainment? So Tim Capital with another video. And y'all, we taking the Megan Thee Stallion docuseries. So I did get a chance to watch it over the weekend. First of all, let me say this. Amazon Prime, Megan, please get them away from me, Megan Pete. Okay, we're gonna call you Mrs. Pete because you got a lot of nerve. I know you got a contract with Amazon and all, but who the hell has Amazon Prime Video? Like, damn, I had to download that subscription and do that free trial, which I got to cancel because I have never had anything Prime but the shipping. Like, you got a lot of nerve, okay? And a lot of leg. I was just like, I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I'm looking all over. I'm like, where do I watch this? Where do I watch this? I'm thinking it's maybe on like BET or some platform where you could easily watch it on TV. Nah, you gotta go to Amazon Prime and download that. Anyways, I love the docuseries. I feel like it was needed. Here's the thing. A lot of people, they don't realize, like, she didn't have to do this. She didn't have to give us this. She didn't have to tell her side of the story again for the 50 millionth time. So I'm grateful that she gave us this. I lived for the animations in the docuseries. It was giving like Static Shock mixed with a little bit of hood. Like, it was just a little bit of hood, but like Static Shock. It was when she was running. And then she got shot in anime. You had her do the, I said, I know you. We did not need the animation effects of it if we're not going to get the real footage. Like, miss me with that. But y'all know how I felt about this whole Megan situation. I've been saying this since 2021. I believe Megan. I'm sorry. I know she lied, which we're going to get into, but I believe her. It just makes sense. Okay? Mind y'all, I was like, by the way, there used to be this song, right? By Megan Thee Stallion called Pull Up Late. I didn't even know if it was her until like a couple years later. I was like, oh, that's Megan Thee Stallion. This song Pull Up Late just to rob his face. Like, if y'all don't know that Megan Thee Stallion, I don't know Megan Thee Stallion. Like, that was to me the era. All right. So it started off where like how she grew up and stuff like that. Like, don't get me wrong, I've listened to Megan Thee Stallion music, but I didn't know a lot about her. So this sort of taught me just a lot about her childhood and everything like that. It showed her as a kid and through animations, of course, Static Shock animations. That's what we're gonna, call it. It was a lot of Static Shock animations. It started off when she was younger. It showed the fact that she went through like a big growth spurt. And she became a stallion, okay? She can't be bitch, you feel me? And she said she always looked up to her mom. They showed the mom in her era. Let me tell y'all, you can't tell me the mom wasn't a part of Freaknik. God rest her soul. God rest her soul. But I could just tell she was busting that pussy out there, okay? Not the fuck, but just the bust of Debbie Case that beep, 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 boop, 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 boop. She give me one of them girls that was on Freaknik, just busting it and throwing in big Debbie Case. Like, she just gives me that vibe. So she was talking about early in the docuseries how she sort of looks up to her mom and how she wanted to be like her mom when she grew up. Now, her dad ended up passing away from a heart attack, which they never really talked about, and they just sort of swept it under the rug. So I feel like that has a lot to do with how Megan is as a person. Instead of like confronting a situation, she just act like it don't exist. And I feel like that's what she did with the Tory situation, because instead of trying to press charges and say what happened to her, she lied and say, oh, I stepped on glass. A lot of people don't look deep into the situation and they just see the surface stuff. Oh, she did this, she did that, he did this, he did that. Y'all got to look into it a little bit deeper. The fact that she did not really deal with the father's death, that was like a coping mechanism that she does, where I feel like she just throws things to the side, or if you do something to her she don't like, she act like you don't exist. I do the same thing, I'm not gonna lie. So it's like I relate to that because I'm gonna literally act like, yo, this if you do something I don't like. No conversation. This shit. I'm doing. I'm growing. I need to go to the academy. You feel me? So it's like I see how she kind of deals with stuff. Is it the most productive way? No, but I get it. Okay, and then she started talking about how she started to like write and then created the character of Megan Thee Stallion. The only thing I don't like what she says is Megan Thee Stallion is like the girl that could be bold and say like what she wouldn't say. I'm like, don't say that, because then people gonna try to spin it to where, oh, yeah, that's when you get bold when you writing stuff, you saying stuff that you wouldn't say in real life. So I wish she sort of worded that a little bit differently, but that's just me nitpicking. So it shows in the docuseries one day, she shows her mom the YouTube video. I feel like I'm so bad at myself. Like, I should have been on YouTube a minute ago. I would have been rich and famous. Oh, I swear to God, I had all of the access, but none of the smarts to do it. Okay, so it's like, anyways, she showed her video, her rapping on YouTube, and the mom was thoroughly impressed. So she said, "Hey, let's get to it." So they started going on the road and started rapping, everything like that. The fact that she had all this footage saved up is very impressive, by the way. Very impressive. Like, I'm talking about when the mom was still alive, they have footage of it. Kelsey, that docuseries broke my heart when we saw Kelsey. Kelsey talking about, this my sister. This my sister. Yeah, she hit us one of those. We're more like friends. We're not like just friends. We're sisters. Okay, like basically proclaiming her love for Megan, and it's like, damn. R.I.P. to that. We saw Kelsey throughout it a couple of times. At one point, she started getting very emotional because this is post her mother passing, right? So the mom was basically her manager. The mom went everywhere with her. The mom was telling her how to say certain words and stuff like that. And it sucks too, because Megan must have a huge insecurity in regards to her rap, especially if her mom was the one that was telling her what to say, how to say it, what not to say. And now she's not alive anymore. So it's sort of like she's probably second guessing herself all the time when she's in that studio. So then we get to the moment where they show like the mom passing, which was really sad. They show like the animation. Basically, they found like a brain tumor, and the mom kind of felt like it was the end of time for her, and then told Megan, and sadly, she ended up passing away. So after that happened, she still continued doing her tour because that's what her mom wanted her to do. But then she sort of got depressed and started smoking. So I said smoking, drinking. So she, okay, off the cooler, she started drinking, right? She said, this is where Megan gained the respect for me. I said, at least the bitch honest. She said, only thing I was doing wrong was drinking and fucking. Like, at least she's on it. Like, you feel me? Not a lot of people could come on camera and just admit that. Okay? It felt like a True Life episode. Literally. Y'all remember True Life on MTV? True Life, I'm a drug addict. True Life, I was drinking and fucking. You know what I'm saying? Like, she just admitted it straight right then and there. So in the midst of her drinking a lot, she started to meet all these other people in the industry that she started to be around. She met, the Kendalls, the Kylies, the Tory, and then COVID hit. So that's when everybody was like in their home and stuff like that. They show that whole era. I kind of lived for this docuseries, not just because of the whole Megan thing, but it took us back in time for a couple of years ago and what we were seeing on the internet, which was the COVID stuff, the lives. Like it was like low-key a little bit nostalgic, and it wasn't even that long ago, before the broke days and inflation, right? Right. So they showed how her and Tori sort of met, and then they showed like that little live clip where he would be doing the quarantine radio and everything like that. And she felt her and him were getting super close, and she felt like she could trust him with stuff. And he had lost his mom, and they sort of trauma bonded about that. Red flag number one. What Kai say? You put your trust in a nigga down bid, that nigga ain't shit. Oh, still a hoe. That nigga don't mean you no good. If you have to trauma bond with somebody, avoid that person. That is the only thing you guys will ever relate to. And that should have been the sign to really stay away from that nigga. Because he knew that's what you were going through, and he capitalized off of that. Because he lost his mom, you lost your mom. So, of course, it was convenient that both of you guys related on that certain topic. And no lie, off topic, the fact that they still had sex, I just can't imagine it. Megan's a tall tree, and Tori's a tree stump. It's like, how do you climb her? Like, I'm not saying Megan is like a gargantuan type of girl. She is a little bit. But it's like Tori's such a small man. So it's like, damn, you must be used to just knocking down the trees. They're going like, God damn, right? So she said they sort of trauma bonded over that. And then that's when they started hanging out more. She started drinking more. She even admitted it that she was hanging out with everybody and their mama. Okay? Everybody and their mama. And then we get to the infamous night. We get the animation remake of it too. Okay? Where we basically see her running. She got out the car 2 times. He powder in the leg. Here's the thing. The only thing that bothered me with that, Megan skipped the fact as to why they were arguing. I feel like if you're going to do a docuseries, tell it all. We already know everything. So it's like, that's why a lot of people respected the fact that she said, I lied about sleeping with Tori on Gayle King's interview, because we knew you was lying. And 2, at least you being honest. At least be honest with everything. You guys were arguing because you slept with him and Kelsey thought that was her nigga. Allegedly. At least like tell us that on camera and just say, hey, like it was fucked up. I should have never did it. I should have never slept with him. I got caught up in the moment. You feel me? Like we was feeling each other. I was horny. It was the left eye. You understand? Blame it on the left eye. You feel me? It was the left eye. It was the handy. You feel me? That's the only thing that bothered me, because don't just say I just started arguing. Like, why were you guys arguing? Tell us in detail. Like, what were you guys arguing about? The trial's already done. It's over with. So anything you say here cannot be used against you in a court of law. You feel me? Why were you guys arguing? Because we all know why. So it's like you might as well just say it. That's the only thing that got on my nerves when it came to that whole reenactment. Because we sort of glanced over it like, you know, we don't know what's really going on in the argument. Anyways, she said they started arguing. She got out the car once in her bikini, which in LA, I believe that's what that was. That would have looked even crazier. She got out a second time, and that's where Tori's like, come back, and then hit her with a dance bitch dance. And then she beat, and then got on the floor, slid. The animation made her boom, and slide right on the floor. And then that's when the police came. This was around the time, of course, we all know the George Floyd situation. So she felt scared and said that she stepped on glass. I feel like that was the biggest mistake Megan could have made. I feel like had she just said somebody shot me, a lot of the confusion and the trouble that she had went to in the beginning wouldn't have happened. The reasoning why she said what she said, if you're a person with human decency and a Black person at that, for you to not get why she did not tell the truth right then and there, you have to have a level of insensitivity and stupidity. Because why would she not lie when literally a Black man died a few months ago or close around that time for a police officer? Like, come the fuck on. Everybody I remember around that time frame was scared as fuck of police officers, and police officers were like number one enemy. So why would she just snitch on her friend, even if she was mad at her friend right then and there, and say, hey, that nigga shot me, so they could shoot his dumb ass? And the way that Tori's anger is, who knows what may have happened if the police had confronted him after she said what happened. I'm just saying. Child, the way I'm telling you, they done beat up August Alsina pretty. Oh, they done beat the pretty out of August. He beat up the pretty out of August Alsina real fast by not giving him a handshake. Imagine a police officer confronting him about pounding somebody in the heat of the moment. Y'all think that would have ended up right? I don't think so. LA police at that. Like, I don't get how people don't get that. Like, y'all need to understand the time that we were in. This isn't something that happened like years ago in 2012, 15, 16, where like, you know, it wasn't a police brutality movement going on. It happened right in the middle of it. Like the timing of everything, Megan had the worst luck. Like it happened in the middle of COVID, in the middle of fucking a police brutality. Like everything, it was just bad. So she said she stepped on glass. They took her to, you know, ambulance and everything. They took her to the doctors. They're like, hey, the doctor came back and said, hey, you got bullet fragments in your foot. Okay? What's up with your foot? Right? So that's when she's like, oh, I do? She knew she got caught up in that lie. Right? And that's what made Megan a less believable person to people, even though I still believe he did it, is because of the couple of lies that were already caught in that story. Because of the glass, and then lastly, the sleeping. Okay, so everything happens on social media. They started posting all about what happened with the shooting, whatever. Tori kind of went ghost about it, but then people started kind of speculating what happened and stuff like that, and that's when he started to troll because she never cleared his name. He started to troll. We played the phone call from the jail. A lot of people feel like the jail call means, oh, he was sorry for them arguing and stuff like that. I don't care nobody say. Why would he be sorry for them arguing when they were all arguing? And the stuff that they were arguing about, although it may have been his fault, Megan was partly to blame if she did allegedly what she did with him to Kelsey if they were supposed to be together. So why would he be apologizing? Unless he did what he did. That's common sense. Like it just bothers me how people cannot put two and two together. Like, come on. Y'all gotta be a little smarter than that. So then we get to the actual trial and everything like that. He gets proven not guilty. Throughout the docuseries, we meet some of Megan's like people. We meet the cousin. The cousin comes with her baby and stuff like that, and they get read the verdict, and that's when she sort of breaks down when she find out the verdict of it all. Let me tell y'all something. I'm a big believer in like spirits and stuff. I feel like Megan's mom made that happen to her, so that way she could stop drinking. Literally, I feel like that was done purposefully in the universe for her to stop drinking. It's either that would have happened or she would have died. That was done on purpose. That wasn't an accident. Like that had to happen to her for her to stop drinking the way that she was, because she was going crazy. So that's why I believe he did it. This is facts. I just don't care. It's my opinion. Y'all can have yours, okay? And then throughout the series too, y'all, we see Laurieann Gibson. Now y'all know I love me some Laurieann Gibson. My favorite like piece from her is when she did that BET show with the dancers, and she went on Dance Moms. Okay, y'all know P Diddy, Laurieann Gibson. I know new generation Laurieann Gibson. Okay, I just know when she got pop out in the foot, and she went to Laurieann for help with her career. I know Laurieann Gibson was just like, honey, you got shot in the foot, but that foot is going to be the foot that elevates you in your career. You know, she said something so dramatic like that and used the, and use the comparison to make the situation sound so theatrical. She's like, that foot was used to elevate your career to the next level. Do you hear me? And Megan's like, yes, Laurieann, I know. You know she said that to her, all right? It was good seeing her managing and not managing, but like sort of helping her out with the projects and everything like that. Like, shout out to Laurieann Gibson. The bitch don't work with the greats. You can like her or not. And I remember one point she had some sort of weird hate train going on. She knows what she's doing, obviously, or else she wouldn't be working with the greats that she has. Okay. The series sort of leans into after post-trial, all the bloggers, they start posting academics, Joe Budden, all these people. And then we get to the Gayle King interview. She should have never did that interview. This is why they say, Megan, you want sympathy and payola, because I feel like that interview was not needed. people are going to believe what they were going to believe regardless. I feel like that interview just makes stuff worse. I do feel like she lied because she was caught off guard, though, because the way that she asked her out of nowhere, like, did you fuck him? But if you can't handle Megan, somebody like a Gayle King asking you, thank God, bitch, you didn't go to Wendy Williams. Because that would have been Wendy's first question. She would have been like, so did you sleep with Tori? Like, she would have asked you straight up. She wouldn't even beat around the bush. I feel like Gayle gave Megan the grace to at least beat around the bush. You could at least answer it and been like, you know, I had a situation that turned sexual with him. You didn't have to say I fucked him. Raw. You were saying, like, we didn't want you to say that. But you could have worded it in a way that was Good Morning America friendly. And I don't think she did that. And that's where it faltered for her. A lot of people felt like she was lying about everything because she lied about that and then about the glass. I still, like I said, believe her in regards to that whole situation because of Tori's actions. Even beforehand and what happened that night, the phone call, and the paying off. Why are you trying to make things so PC, so good if you didn't do it? If Kelsey did it like everybody claims, why should I feel guilty? I ain't shoot her. Oh, well. And I just feel like if Kelsey actually did it, he would have snitched. I'm sorry. I don't give a fuck. Ain't no nigga taking all them years for something they ain't do. And it's not going to tell and tell and tell. I don't give a fuck. Street cred or not. That nigga would have sang like a canary. Like a bird. I don't give a crap. That nigga would have sang like a bird. I'm like a bird, I'm gonna play. That's how he would have flew out that jail cell. He would have flew up out of there and sang like a canary. I don't care. I'm sorry. No nigga's taking all that time. Tori, I don't feel like people understand. This nigga loves music. So the fact that he's going to be away not making music for that amount of time, I don't feel like anybody would have been worth him taking the blame for something that he didn't do for him not being able to do music, produce music. Because now they took away, you know, his ability to make music stuff behind bars. You think he would have wanted to risk that to take the blame for something Kelsey did, like some of y'all saying? Y'all, okay, sure. I don't give a fuck how hood of a nigga is or how much street cred, you snitch, you know, reputation he don't want on him. No nigga gonna take all that time for no girl. Sorry. He ain't even, the girl not even a nigga. If he want there, if it was two niggas, okay, that's a girl. He could have, like, he would have spun the story like, hey, she was jealous because I was fucking her and she shot her. The series sort of ends with how she's been doing posts. She went on like a, what I like to call a left eye. She went on a Lisa Left Eye Lopez spiritual journey. That bitch she went on a spiritual journey. Okay, thank God the bitch ain't die. She said she thought she was going to if she didn't go to it. But unlike Left Eye, she did survive. Rest in peace, Left Eye. I love me some Left Eye, by the way. So not too much in the comments. Okay, say what, say what, say what. Ooh. Okay, so she went on a journey. She ended up coming back. She felt like a new bitch, and then she ended up going like doing more shows and going on tour more. She made. Before that happened, she ended up doing that Jimmy Kimmel performance, and that's where she had that breakdown, and that's what kind of caused her to push into going into doing that whole retreat, which was really good for her. And thank God she did it, okay? The series sort of ends with how she's doing post everything and the projects that she has and stuff. I do think, though, that this docuseries sort of opened my eyes a lot more as to, like, how she was feeling in those moments, but I do feel like she should have been a little bit more blunt with that whole situation, because now it's done. If you're going to talk about it all. That's what I think. Okay. Let me know what y'all thought about the docuseries and the animation of it all. Okay. Leave your comments down below and we're all babies.
No personal thing.